Okay, folks, I'm going to call the meeting to order. As required under the Planning Act, a public meeting is being held prior to the committee making a decision on these applications. The first thing I'll do is introduce the committee, and we've got on virtual there, Councillor Yeo. Welcome, Councillor Yeo. And we've got Ms. Archer, Mr. Erickson, Mr. Finn, Ms. Richardson, Mr. Strangway, and I'm Mr. Robertson. And we go to staff, and we've got the Director of Development Services, Ms. Berry, Development Supervisor, Ms. Evans. We've got Planner 2, Mr. Shahid, Planner 2, Mr. Okawat, sorry about that, and Mr. McKinnon, the Supervisor of Plans Review and Inspections, Mr. Lahaye, who is our Secretary Treasurer, and Ms. Crockford, our Recording Secretary. I think I caught everyone there. Have our guests arrived? Go ahead. I'm going to ask Ms. Evans to introduce some guests we have in the audience today. Go ahead.
Thank you. So today we do have some special guests with us. We have Professor Roger Picton and his students from the Trent University Planning Field Course. So they're here to observe and see what Committee of Adjustment looks like. So welcome, everyone.
And again, welcome. We'll have no rowdyism, okay, just so everyone's clear. All right. I would like to advise everyone that's here that we live stream the meeting on our YouTube channel, and the recording is available after the meeting. Because meetings are accessible to the public in all of these ways, video or audio recording by members of the public is not permitted in these council chambers. This is to ensure that all attendees and those who come to make a deputation feel at ease, and we thank you for your cooperation. All right, moving right along. Committee, any comments or questions with respect to the printed agenda? Then can I get a motion to adopt it as printed? Ms. Archer. Mr. Erickson, any further comments or questions on the motion on the floor? Being none, I'm going to be asking for recorded votes because of the Councillor Yeo being on the virtual. So Councillor Yeo. In favor. Ms. Archer.
In favor.
Mr. Erickson.
In favor.
Mr. Finn.
In favor.
Ms. Richardson.
In favor.
Mr. Strangway.
In favor.
And I'm in favor. That carries. All right. Are there any declarations of pecuniary interest? All right. The minutes of the previous meeting. Any comments or questions with respect to those minutes? All right. Being none, can I get a motion to adopt those as printed? Mr. Strangway, Mr. Finn. Any further comments or questions? All right. And again, Mr. Finn.
In favor.
Mr. Strangway.
In favor.
Ms. Richardson.
In favor.
Councillor Yeo.
In favor.
Ms. Archer.
In favor.
Mr. Erickson.
In favor.
And I'm in favor. Thank you. All right. For the benefit of those sitting here and those who are online, and I'm sure we probably have a number of folks that are online today, the committee will hear comments, gather information, and may ask questions to clarify statements made. The committee may ask and answer questions or redirect questions to the appropriate person. Please note that any information or comments given to the committee during this meeting, those are considered evidence. We will first hear from staff, then the applicant or his or her agent. We will then hear from any person in support of or from those who have questions, concerns, or are opposed to the application. Finally, the applicant or his or her agent will have an opportunity to respond to any of the statements made to the committee. Now, I would advise that if you're here, that if you wish to speak to an application, please raise your hand. I will ask you to come forward to the podium. There's a button there, I think that says speak or S on it. I'd appreciate if you'd get your red light on so that we can hear you as you speak. And for those on virtual, when you come online, please identify yourself, and then we will go from there. Now, I would advise that we do afford each and every deputant or applicant a 10-minute span to get your information in. I don't think we've ever had anyone go that far, perhaps a couple. But if you find that you just can't possibly get all that information in within that 10-minute session, then I will ask committee if they will afford you a couple of more minutes. But that apparently happens on rare occasions. But anyway, just so everyone's clear. All right. We begin with file number D20-2025-087, and this is 57 Trinity Drive, the geographic township of Verlem. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The subject property is situated on the shoreline of Sturgeon Lake with access from Trinity Drive. The area is primarily characterized by single detached dwellings and assorted accessory structures, mainly for seasonal residential use. The subject property currently contains a 2-story single detached dwelling, a detached garage, a boathouse, and a cabin. The existing cabin is 38 square meters in size and was constructed in 1994. The proposal seeks to facilitate the construction of a new cabin with the removal of the existing cabin. The applicant has indicated that they will try to utilize as much of the existing cabin as possible. So due to a technicality in the zoning bylaws determination of what is considered frontage, the lot's access from Trinity Drive is not recognized as frontage. However, Trinity Drive spans approximately 44 meters across the property's width and is consistent with the surrounding lot fabric as I've shown on the slide. Overall, the lot is well sized to facilitate the proposal. Looking at the height and size of the cabin, its visual impact will be minimal from the public view, and it is located in the side yard. If you look at the bottom left image on the slide, you can see the subject dwelling, and the existing cabin is actually there too, but hidden behind the trees. The proposed cabin would be in the same place. The cabin's proposed gross floor area is more than 60% smaller than the existing dwelling, which ensures the primary dwelling remains the predominant use on the property. The height of the existing dwelling is also approximately the same height of the proposed cabin. Moving on to comments, after the writing of the report, the Building Division stated they have no comments or concerns. The Supervisor, Part 8, Sewage System stated they have no issue with the minor variance proposal as it relates to private on-site sewage disposal. And the Development Engineering Division stated they have no objection to the application. The Kawartha Region Conservation Authority stated they are in support of the application and that a permit will be required. All in all, staff acknowledges the application meets all 4 tests of a minor variance, and we respectfully recommend approval of the application, subject to the conditions identified. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Are there questions of the planner? Mr. Strangway?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Excuse me. Just a couple of questions. I don't know if the pictures are deceiving. This looks like quite a significant cabin. I'm just wondering if you can share a little more information. Does it have a number of bedrooms, cooking facilities? What makes up the cabin? Or maybe the problem is the term cabin. It's not normally what we see as a cabin, I would think.
Through you, Mr. Chair, so I can get to you regarding the exact number of rooms and everything. I do have the floor plans with me. So the thing is, the zoning bylaw that we're working with here, which is the Verulem zoning bylaw, it defines a cabin as a dwelling unit which contains no cooking facilities and which is accessory to a permitted dwelling. So it doesn't explicitly say that you can't have, for example, sanitary facilities, but it specifically says that you can't have cooking facilities. So this cabin does not have cooking facilities, otherwise that would not be permitted. But I can look at the floor plan now and give you the exact number of bedrooms. Through you, Mr. Chair, so I have the floor plan in front of me here. So there's actually one bedroom on the main floor, and then there is a loft area as well. The loft area does not have a bedroom, but it just has essentially an attic space, a bathroom, and then some extra habitable space. And on the main floor, that's where the bedroom is. And then there's a powder room, mud room, utility room, and just some habitable space. It is, the proposed cabin is much larger than what is currently existing. But the thing that I was looking at here was at the size of the proposed cabin in comparison to what currently exists for the house. And when comparing those two in terms of their gross floor area, the ground floor area, how it is seen from the public view, I felt that the intention of the zoning bylaws met by keeping the dwelling as the predominant and primary use on the property, even with that proposed new cabin.
Okay, thank you for that. Just one fair question. Sorry, what did you say as far as septic is? Have they commented on, in light of the fact we're adding bedroom, bathroom?
Through you, Mr. Chair, yeah. The supervisor Part 8 sewage systems was circulated, and she commented that she has no concerns in relation to private on-site sewage disposal, and she would have looked at the floor plans and everything as well.
Hey, thank you for your answers. Appreciate it.
Anything, Ms. Archer, go ahead.
Through you, please, to the planner. If in such time as they decided to put a cooking stove or a stovetop or something in there, would this automatically have to switch to an ARU?
Through you, Mr. Chair, so an ARU wouldn't be permitted on the property because of the status of the road.
Follow up, no?
Yeah, we don't have any authority, though, not authority, but if they do put a stove in, all of a sudden it's not permissible?
Through you, Mr. Chair, yeah, if I'm not going to say if they were to put a stove in, but if they were to put in, if they were to add a cooking facility, then yes, it wouldn't be considered a permissible use and structure.
But we don't have any fallback to stop them from doing that, right?
Through you, Mr. Chair, they're not allowed to do that, and when they go through the construction process and permitting process, so obviously there would be inspections done during that time, but afterwards, obviously we're not constantly monitoring them unless there is some enforcement issue later down the line.
We might perhaps at some point, if the applicants here get their point of view as to what the use might be. Ms. Richardson.
Through you. So does the proposal contain a kitchen area with a sink but just no stove? So they may have the sink and a fridge and a microwave and that type of thing?
Through you, Mr. Chair, the proposal does contain an area with a sink, but there is no stove.
So again, perhaps we can determine if the applicant's here as to what's going on. But further questions of the planner? Mr. Finn?
Through you, Chair. Just looking at the Appendix C to your report, there's something called a frame bunkie. Is that the cabin that's going to be removed?
Through you, Mr. Chair, yes, that is correct.
And that seems to be 6.77 meters by 7.95 meters?
Through you, Mr. Chair, yes, that is correct.
And it's only one story?
Yes, that is correct.
And then at the bottom of Appendix C is a photograph, not photograph, the sketches of the proposed building, which appears to be 2 stories.
Through you, Mr. Chair, yep, that is correct.
Thank you.
Some cabin. Further questions of the planner? All right. Is the applicant here or online? Online, perhaps? All right. I'm advised the applicant is online, so.
Oh, can you hear me?
We can. What is your name, sir?
Okay, turn the video on. Hello, my name is Gary Newhook at Garfield Design. I'm the applicant for the owner. And I'm here to answer any questions that you may have. I see there was quite a few of them that have come up there. If I could start with the one. As far as the septic system, we have been talking to the septic department, and the plan is to put a second septic system on the property. It's that large that we have lots of room for that. The owner, Mrs. McCain is. She's going to be, it's a fair sized family that they have, and this is her cabin, her retreat. And the upstairs area has an office and an exercise room for her, and there's a bathroom up there. It's the one bedroom downstairs, and then she has a living room and a place where she can have her coffee and tea in the morning, a small kitchenette, if you will. There will be not any stoves in there. She has a sauna on the main floor and her hot tub. So that is the plan for the building, if you will.
All right. Anything further you wish to add?
I'm sorry, is there any other questions that I can answer over on here? Or?
Are there, committee? Mr. Strangway.
Mr. Newhook, thanks for being with us today. It's greatly appreciated. I guess where I, as a member of the committee, when I looked at this, I thought it was exceedingly large for a cabin. And in light of the fact that we're hearing there's a kitchenette and a sink and so on, we're struggling with the word cabin and the size of this particular building. It appears it has all the making of a second residence on the property. I don't know whether you wish to comment on that. That's just what I'm feeling sitting here right now.
Well, it's she's calling it a cabin only because it's a word that sort of strikes as a country setting, if you will. As we have approached, or I have brought up the thing of an ARU, but unfortunately there's one person on the street that is opposing it, and because of that they can't, they're limited LSR is what they're zoned as, and the town has offered them to rezone it, but there's one chap, unless they get 100%, they can't rezone it. So we couldn't go down that road. So again, this is her retreat, if you will, and she's calling it a cabin. We can call it anything as far as that's concerned.
Mr. Strangway, follow up?
Just a question to staff. Mr. Newhook alluded to the fact that there was alternatives looked at, but that wasn't possible. Can anybody help me out with that?
Mr. Shahid?
Through you, Mr. Chair. When the application came in, it came in as a cabin, and I didn't discuss alternatives with the applicant. An ARU, I then discussed doing a rezoning. An ARU wouldn't be permitted because of the status of the road. And if it were to be considered an ARU, they would have to rezone. They would have to go through a rezoning process. But I've never discussed that with the applicant or with the team.
Okay, thank you.
Anything further of Mr. Newhook? Or the planner, for that matter? All right, being none. Thank you, Mr. Newhook. We appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you.
Is there anyone here or online that wishes to speak in support of this application, in support of the application? Anyone here or online wishing to speak in opposition to the application? Opposition to the application? Oh, yes, sir. Please. And your name, sir? Okay, would you want to see if you can get a red light?
You got one. So I know the applicant, the lady. This cabin that she's putting on the property is for when her kids, the 3 families with all the grandkids, come up and stay in her place. So this is a way of her retreating away from them for peace and quiet. The lady is 70 years old. The grandkids are crazy. I have 4 kids myself. Yes, right? So this is just a way of getting away from them. Obviously, it looks excessive, but when you have that capability, then that's what you kind of want. But I know that the meals and everything are all as one. So maybe that helps you make a decision.
Well, thank you, sir. Just hang on a minute. Are there any questions of the deputy? Thank you. We appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you very much.
All right, and I'll try again. Is there anyone wishing to speak in support or in opposition to the application? Opposition to the application. All right, I'm advised none, committee. Ms. Richardson.
I recommend that the application be denied.
All right, Mr. Finn.
I'll second that.
All right, I'd like you to speak to it.
The cabin is quite considerably larger than the definition of a cabin. It looks like a home. Nothing's to say that they won't expand it into home usage in the future, but it is just excessively large.
Mr. Finn, you're the seconder.
I have trouble with this being a minor variance. The requirement's 36 meters, and we're going to 231 square meters with a 2-story dwelling. I just have difficulty accepting that as a minor variance.
Mr. Shahid, I'd like you to speak to that. You've heard that there's a motion on the floor to deny. So would you speak to that? Where does that put you as staff?
Through you, Mr. Chair. My opinion still stands when I took a look at the application. Sometimes as we know, our zoning bylaws don't accurately reflect what's on properties. For example, with certain definitions. When I was taking a look at the context of this property, the size of it, the size of the dwelling, existing dwelling, I felt that the intention of the zoning bylaw is still being met. So for that reason, I recommended approval, and I'll stick with that opinion.
All right, thank you. Are there any further comments or questions? Mr. Strang.
This is certainly a challenge for myself as well. Is there any other possible way we can kind of meet the needs of this committee and meet the needs of these individuals? If I was to suggest a deferral, is there any room for negotiations, something we could do to make this work for both groups? Any thoughts on that, Mr. Shahid?
Through you, Mr. Chair. Sorry, just give me 1 second, actually.
I would just advise everyone here that this is a normal practice with respect to the committee, discussions like this with staff, because we are here to make informed decisions, not just decisions. So bear with us, please. Thank you.
Through you, Mr. Chair. So deferring the application is an option. I think one good question to pose to the committee is what size would we be comfortable with if they were to come back a later time? That is something that can be discussed now. If they were to come back the next month, what is the size that you all would be comfortable with approving?
Mr. Strangway, you raised the issue, so I'll ask you to respond to that.
I'll be honest, I don't want to sit here and just off the top of my head say a size. It certainly is larger than I think what I'm feeling I'm comfortable with. And I think when I hear there's a sink in it and everything but a cooking facility, that's problematic. So I think there needs to be some more discussion. I don't want to see these people lose the application because of the size. But as I say, I'm sitting here with a certain level of discomfort. So at this time, I would like to see some more discussion, negotiations, and I would propose a deferral rather than.
I've got a motion on the floor, so just hang on for a minute. Can we bring Mr. Newhook back? All right, go ahead, Councillor.
Thank you. I got my little sign up here with my hand up, but I don't know if you can see it or not.
Yeah.
I'm speaking against the motion because exactly what the planner just said. How big is too big, and what's the committee looking at? Like, we don't have parameters for size. We shouldn't make the decisions based on hunches. And as the planner said, the lot is plenty big enough for an ARU, but a glitch in the zoning won't allow it at this time. There's plenty of room for another septic, everything except a glitch in zoning, because it doesn't have frontage because of a glitch with Trinity Drive. So maybe down the road, when the zoning issue is taken care of, then it will be eligible to be an ARU at that time. But to deny it because it's got a sink but no stove and you have a hunch they might throw something in, I think is a little suspect in the motion, and so therefore I'm going to speak against it. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't disagree with Councillor Yo's comments, but I'm just wondering, Mr. Shahid, if I heard correctly, I thought I heard that they would have gone for a rezoning on this property, but there's one person opposed to the rezoning, so as a result, we can't move on that. Is that correct?
Through you, to you, Mr. Chair, I don't know anything about the discussion of whether there's anyone talking about a rezoning. Anyone can submit a rezoning application. And then it would be up to council to approve it. In terms of what we're looking at here, I just want to bring up some quick numbers. So for example, the zoning bylaw has something called total lot coverage, which is when we look at all the accessory, every structure on the property, including the dwelling. For that, they're allowed to have 33% of their property covered by structures, and they're at 10%. For accessory structure lot coverage, they're allowed to have 10% of their lot covered by accessory structures. They're at 6.7%. So they're compliant in terms of lot coverage. In addition to that, the zoning bylaw doesn't control, it doesn't prescribe any provisions regarding, for example, maximum number of rooms, maximum number of bedrooms, and so on. So we can't control that. So it is hard to, if we were to defer the application, what number are we trying to meet? If the committee wants a smaller cabin, what are we trying to, like, what is the size of a cabin that everyone would be comfortable with? Otherwise, if we can't come up with a specific number, it might just turn into almost like a limbo process where it's just coming back and forth, proposing a new number until we're comfortable with it. In context of the property, accessory lot coverage is compliant, total lot coverage is compliant, it's smaller than the existing dwelling, so the intention is met there. It's just larger than what the zoning bylaw prescribes for a maximum dwelling. In addition to that, this property actually did come to committee back in 2023 for a similar proposal, but I guess that was never, they never went through with it. which committee approved 133 square meter cabin back in 2023 at some point.
All right. Have we still got Mr. Newhook online? Can you bring him back on, please?
Yes, I'm still here.
All right. We do, all right, just, I'd like to advise that we do have a motion on the floor to deny this application. And before I get to further discussions with respect to that motion, I'd like your opinion. There's been some talk about if the motion were to be deferred, or the application to be deferred, would your client be willing to talk about perhaps other ways to proceed with this, perhaps with a smaller unit?
That's a good question. You've Andrew, the contractor, he was just up there. He's talking to the owner more so than myself. I don't know if we want to bring him on to here as well. Andrew Ottagali, he was the chap that was just talking in favor of. Because Patricia seems to be pretty, Patricia McCain seems to be pretty adamant this is what she wanted, because she did have something designed by another contractor, and a minor variance went through, and the minor variance was approved, but she just wasn't happy with the design. It's not what she wanted. All right, so she decided to go to a new contractor, and so that's where we are now. So as far as what does she want to come down, I don't know if Andrew can answer that question for you. I really can't without talking to the owner.
All right, thank you. Any further comments or questions with respect to the motion on the floor? And yes, Ms. Richardson, go ahead.
Through you. So why was the 2023 application not included in this report for our reference? And obviously she didn't proceed, so that application is no longer valid.
Mr. Shahid?
Through you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, the application was lapsed, and there's no precedent set by the old application, but you're right, perhaps it might have been, likely would have been helpful if I would have included at least a reference to it, so I apologize for that.
Yeah, and I would advise committee that the decisions here are not precedent setting, so we deal with each on its own merits. So that's where we are now. Any further discussion with respect to, yes, Ms. Sucker?
Through you, I wonder if we could bring the contractor back and see what his thoughts are on it.
We can do that. For the record, your name again, sir, please. Yeah, please go ahead.
Andrew Ottagali. I'm sure, you know, I know that she's got a wish list, and I know that everybody wants their wish list, but you know, a no is nothing. So I'm sure I can go back to her and see if you have some guidelines on what size you feel is appropriate for this. I understand your concern is the kitchen, and I know she does want a coffee station, and that's it, so she can retreat when the kids come up. But as far as the main dwelling, you know, that's where she stays, and the only time that she would be over there is probably to use the sauna, the hot tub, have a coffee when the kids are up. So when they're not there, you know, she's in the main dwelling. So I know from the existing bunkie, there's a sauna in there, and it's active, and that's where she goes for a sauna. I mean, I can propose that we make the building smaller. Just kind of need to know what that looks like for you guys. You know?
Yeah, I think we're kind of hearing from Mr. Newhook that she's rather, I think he used the word adamant that it stays. Are there any further questions of gentlemen? All right, thank you, sir. Right.
Thank you.
Okay. I guess before we get to, are there any further comments with respect to the motion on the floor? Before I get to asking for a vote, I guess I would say this, that the planner has indicated that he's comfortable with the situation before us. It's here as a granted, the application. I've also heard comments from the committee and Mr. Strangway that really, we don't, and I agree with you, how could we possibly, off the top of our head, say, well, it should be X rather than Y? So we can't here decide on that as to what the size might be. Mr. Shahid, are you going to ask him to go back to the applicant and say it needs to be smaller when he's okay, comfortable with the situation before us? And you heard the word adamant that she's not probably willing to change. So that being the case, I'm going to vote in opposition to the motion as well. So, but let's get started. So we'll go to Ms. Richardson.
I'm in favor of denying the application.
To deny it? Yes. And Mr. Finn?
In favor of denial?
Mr. Erickson? Ms. Archer?
Against.
Mr. Strangway?
Against.
And I'm against. So the motion, and, I'm sorry, Councillor Yeo, you had indicated you're against as well. Sorry about that.
Opposed, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm opposed. So the motion fails. All right. So we're back to Ms. Archer.
I would like to move that it be deferred.
All right.
I think that's far better than being turned down outright, and they can discuss it and bring it back to us.
All right. If I go to a seconder and get a deferred motion on the floor, then the only thing we can discuss is the time frame. So before I ask for a seconder, are there any comments? Mr. Shea, do you have any comments with respect to a deferral?
Through you, Mr. Chair. I know you've all mentioned that it's difficult to come up with a specific number for the cabin. The zoning bylaw states that you can have a cabin maximum 38 square meters, if you're eligible, across the entire former township of Verulam. So obviously there's so many different size lots. Some lots are larger than others, but the zoning bylaw prescribes this, just one specific size that applies to all the lots. So when an application comes to committee, sometimes, and the zoning bylaw was passed in 1987, the planners at that time, what were they taking a look at? What were they considering? God knows. But what we do, we can look at the intention. What is the intention of the provision? Obviously, the intention is to make sure that accessory use remains subordinate to the primary use. Another thing is to ensure that we're avoiding overcrowding. Another thing is to make sure that built form is cohesive in the surrounding context. So, for example, the area is a seasonal area. Generally, it's common for people in seasonal areas to have cabins, right? So it's hard to come up with a specific size, I know. But if you don't give me a specific size here today, when I go back to speak with the applicant, I'm not going to have a specific number to give them, and they're just going to have to see how much they can reduce, and we're going to come back, and perhaps committee is not going to be okay with that either. So it would be very, very helpful if we want to defer it, if we can come up with a specific number. Otherwise, it's just going to be a limbo process where I don't know what number to give them. I believe that they meet the intention of that provision for the reasons identified in the report. The cabin is hidden behind the trees. It's smaller than the house. The lot is fairly large in comparison to the neighboring residential lots. So for that reason, total lot coverage is compliant, accessory lot coverage is compliant. So the intention is met, but it would be very useful to at least come up with some number that I can go back to the applicant with.
Thank you, Mr. Shahid. You've been very careful. Now, before I ask for a second, I'm going to ask for comments. Yes, Councillor Yeo, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Through you, Mr. Chair. I know I can't speak to the deferral, but I wouldn't support it if I could speak to it. I think that's pretty political. But I'm on the side of the planner here when he says everything is met for a minor variance. It meets all the percentages and lot coverages and all the numbers. And frankly, if we do turn this down I'd almost be better to turn it down and let them go to the board and get it reversed, because it's I don't see other than a feeling that it's too big, and that there's nobody's brought up any evidence that it's too big, and you don't have a number to give, and so like it's just too big. It's confusing, really. So I'm just not happy with the decision. Thank you.
We've danced the dance with respect to the denial, so Mr.
My opinion is that we see the word bunkie and cabin. I'm sure we're all thinking of a little wee structure. Well, things have changed. Previously, on other applications, I asked the planners, bunkie, cabin, is there any one definition of each of those? No, there isn't. I agree with the planner's logic behind approving this application. And yes, it does have an attic for storage, but if not today, somewhere down the line, this will be approved. I'm in favor of approving it now.
Anything further?
Through you, please, to the planner. The new zoning bylaws that are out there somewhere, is there a maximum size of that's changed for this?
Through you, Mr. Chair, I can take a look at it now. I don't know off the top of my head.
Enough of that top of our head talk today. I'm just wondering, Ms. Archer, as a result of the, and I think the planner laid it out very well in comments here, I'm just wondering with your deferral motion, do you really think we're going to accomplish anything by doing that? Because they have no recommendations with respect to size. We don't either, other than we think it's too big. So I'll leave that. I'm willing to accept your deferral motion, but I'm wondering if it's...
It's just my thought that deferral is better than turning it down, and I'm afraid if we vote we might turn it down, then she's got to start all over again. So.
Well, the turning it down is passed, so we're either dealing with a deferral now or probably approving the application.
Through you, Mr. Chair. So I just want to state that the rural zoning bylaw is currently under appeal, so it is not in effect, and it can change when it eventually does come into effect. But the rural zoning bylaw in its current form, the maximum size for a cabin is 30 square meters.
So they're not dealing with it in the new bylaws or the new zoning?
Sorry, I don't understand. They're not dealing with what?
Well, is there not a new zoning thing coming for the whole city? Like I thought every now and again you'll say, well, this is what it is, but when it comes, it should be okay. It would be okay if it was done next year. This is not changing?
Hang on, committee, until we get... I'm sure there are a lot of you sitting out there thinking, what a simple task these people have. Not so much.
Through you, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Yeah, no, the rural zoning bylaw that is currently being discussed, it states that the maximum size for a cabin is 30 square meters. So it's small? Yeah, it's smaller than what the Township of Verulam zoning bylaw permits.
But that is the future. All right, Mr. Strangman? Sorry, Mr. Finn, you were first.
Yes, I was just going to follow up on something you suggested. We've heard several times from the applicant that this supposed cabin is to be a getaway for the owner, one lady of 70 years in age. It seems to me we should defer this application and get some more information from her directly as to what she requires. Again, looking at the illustrations of the building that's proposed, it strikes me that for a 70-year-old getaway, that's not it. So I think we need more information on that. If this matter is going to be deferred, they can get some more information as to what is required for a 70-year-old's getaway.
All right. Right. Yes.
Through you, the applicant and the owner and whoever else have all heard our discussion. I don't think it's up to us to put a square footage on it, other than the zoning bylaws says 38 square meters currently. So I think it's up to the applicant and his client to discuss an appropriate square footage.
Well, there's been a lot of discussion, so do you wish to proceed with your deferral motion? Do I have a seconder? Mr. Erickson? All right, the only discussions we can have relate to the time frame. So how soon, Ms. Archer, do you think it should come back? Next meeting, 2 meetings?
No more than 3 meetings, but like they could bring it back next week if they're ready, right? Or next month? Yeah, no more than 3.
Yeah, Mr. Shahid, I'll put you on the spot, and I know where you are, and I appreciate that, but is 1 month enough time, or do you need a couple? Back in the November meeting, or what? Oh, no.
Through you, Mr. Chair, I mean, it's up to the applicant will have to work with the property owner to see what they can come up with. So I think maybe you can ask the applicant what timeline they're comfortable with.
And I will, I just, yeah. Mr. Newhook, are you still here?
Yes, I am still here.
All right, I'm sure you've heard all the discussions. I've got a motion on the floor to defer the matter. We're talking now about time frame. Is 1 month suitable, or would you require 2 months? I'm asking.
Okay, I hate to keep pushing this off to Andrew, but Andrew's the one that's communicating with Ms. McCain more so than myself. I do know, as far as there was one lady, I forgot her name in there now, was saying that we can go back to her and see what she actually wants. This design did not come from me. This came from her. This is what she wanted. She did one once already about 2 years ago, and she wasn't happy with it. And so she sketched this up and says, here, this is what I want. So does she, I mean, if you people say that we've got to go down the size, well, I guess you're controlling that. But I mean, she has a huge property here. There's her next door neighbor just putting up another huge addition on his house. I mean, these people have the money, I guess. I don't know what to tell you on that part, but I really don't understand. I mean, yes, it's bigger than what the cabin is in the bylaw. Then that's why we're here with this minor variance, because we want to make it larger. All right, how large is too large? For this property, this isn't large. I mean, it's a large, I think 1.5 acres she's got here. So
all right.
It is a large property.
I'll stop you there, Mr. Newhook. I think we have enough information there, so let's, all right.
Yeah, you're asking time-wise. If you ask Andrew what he feels that the client, I don't know if she's going out of the country again, but Andrew can answer that better than me.
Thank you. I think we've pursued it far enough. All right. The motion on the floor is to defer the matter. Let's say 2 months. That gives everyone, Mr. Finn.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe there's a meeting in December, so 2 months.
January.
In January, so that's 3 months.
Yeah, with 2 meetings. Yeah.
2 meetings, yeah.
2 meetings. Now, we're only talking about the time frame.
So my question is, can they bring it back after a month if they're ready?
I guess, yeah. Let's put to return no later than the January meeting. And then if it's ready earlier, it can come back in November. All right. Ms. Archer.
In favor.
Mr. Finn.
In favor?
Mr. Erickson.
In favor.
Ms. Richardson.
In favor.
Mr. Strangway.
In favor.
Councillor Yeo.
Opposed.
I'll support it to come back, all right? All right, so Mr. Newhook, the motion on the floor that's passed is that it be deferred to no later than the January, we don't meet in December, so no later than the January meeting, but if it's ready before then, it can go back in November.
Okay, I just don't know what we're trying to get down to. I mean, how big is too big?
Well, that's why we're deferring. Yes, sir.
Okay.
You're the contractor?
Yes, I am.
Okay, all I want to talk about is time. So the motion is
Time? Okay.
bring it back no later than the January meeting, but if you're ready in November, we do have a meeting in November.
Way you can shine a little bit of light on what a 70-year-old retreat building looks like. So I have a guideline on that. You know, this is the wish list of the lady, very active lady, Pilates, exercise, you name it. So my question is, you know, maybe you can shine a little bit of light on what we want to see as a retreat building for this lady?
We're not even close to that today, so that's why it may very well take October, November, it may take 3 months to come up with something. But there's going to have to be discussions with staff and perhaps some of the committee members, so that's where we are at the present time. So I'm sorry, but I really can't help you there.
Excellent, thank you.
All right, so the matter, I think, Mr. Newhook, I advised no later than January meeting, and if we're ready in November, it can come back.
Thank you.
Well, I didn't see that coming. All right. We're dealing with file number D20-2025-088, and this is 23 Sugarbush Trail, Township of Maripasa. Mr. Okawit.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So photographic evidence was not provided to demonstrate that the advertisement sign was posted on the property, 23 Sugarbush Trail in Mariposa, 10 days before the meeting as required by the Planning Act. Additionally, it was determined that prior to the committee hearing, an additional relief from the zoning bylaw is required that was not included in the advertisement. It is therefore recommended that the application be deferred to the next scheduled hearing on November 27, 2025, so the application can be advertised with the inclusion of all necessary reliefs. Thank you.
All right. Questions of the planner? You're hearing they're asking for deferral? All right. Nothing further here. Is the applicant here or online? Okay. I would ask if there's anyone out there that wishes to support or oppose this application. We're looking at probably a deferral motion on the floor, so you wouldn't be able to speak to it today, but at least you'll know that it's going to be deferred. Is there anyone out there that wishes to speak in support or opposition? All right, committee. Ms. Bridges. All right, and do I have a seconder? Mr. Strangway? All right, the only discussion is time. Everyone's happy with that? All right. Councillor Yeo?
In favor?
All right. Ms. Richardson?
In favor?
Good. All right. Mr. Strangway?
In favor.
Ms. Archer?
In favor?
Mr. Erickson?
In favor.
Mr. Finn?
In favor.
And I'm in favor. Okay, the motion is deferred until the November meeting. Thank you. That there isn't going to be one, so We're now dealing with file number D20-2025-089, and the location is 12 Sunset Court, and it's former town of Lindsay. Mr. Shahid, and it looks like we're looking at an amendment here as well. Amended application, I think there is a, just for your information committee, there's a amended condition in there. All right, go ahead, Mr. Shahid.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yes, there is a revised condition. It's just for Section 59 notice, I believe, from Kawartha Region Conservation Authority. Yeah, the subject property is located in a neighborhood that is primarily residential with built form consisting of single detached dwellings with various accessory structures. The subject property currently contains a single detached dwelling with a detached garage. The proposal seeks to facilitate the construction of a new covered front porch. The proposed porch will have steps extending towards the side lot line, and the existing steps and platform to the front entrance of the dwelling will be removed. Looking at the front yard setback, the existing dwelling was constructed prior to the applicable zoning bylaw. As the entrance to the dwelling is elevated, at minimum steps are required to access the dwelling. The existing steps encroach further into the front yard setback than the proposed porch, as seen on the sketch. And the proposed porch includes steps oriented towards the side lot line to prevent additional encroachment into the front yard. Due to the slanted front lot line and the dwelling's existing placement, the porch has a minimum setback of 6.22 meters at its closest point and almost 7 meters at its opposite end. In terms of comments, after the writing of the report, the Buildings Division stated they have no comments or concerns. The Development Engineering Division stated they have no objection to the application. To conclude, staff acknowledges the application meets all 4 tests of a minor variance, and we respectfully recommend approval of the application, subject to the revised conditions identified. Thank you.
Questions of the planner? Ms. Richardson.
Through you, can you please explain the intake protection zone? I've never heard of that before.
Through you, Mr. Chair. So our official plan identifies places that are within vulnerable areas that could, so for example, if you're developing anything near a water source, so there is policy to make sure that what you're developing doesn't impact nearby water sources, and the Kawartha Region Conservation Authority, they have someone who takes care of that for us. Usually the applicant gets it done as part of the building permit, and they do it prior to the building permit with us for the minor variance application. It wasn't done yet, so for that reason I had to put it as a condition, and the applicant has already notified me that they have reached out to the KRCA and they're already starting to work on the application with them.
When you speak of water source, I think of a stream or river or whatever, something like that. So where is the water source on Sunset Court?
Through you, Mr. Chair, I don't know exactly where the specific water course is. It could be a pipe in a lake or a river. I can locate it afterwards, but I don't have the data on me right now to locate the exact area. If I look at their comments, I could give you the title of it, but I can't like geographically point to where it is.
So does that mean it could have been built on a former swamp or something like that?
Through you, Mr. Chair, no, the intake protection zone does not indicate that, no.
Oh, okay. Anything further from committee?
Just if I could, Mr. Chair. Councillor Yo up here.
Oh, yeah, go ahead, sir. Yes. Keep missing you up there in the air, or Councillor, go ahead, sorry.
I like that most of the time. The intake protection zones, just for the committee's information. So anywhere the city municipality has a water system, a public water system, generally they draw a bubble from that water system that stretches out and beyond the intake area. So there's no specific water body or anything that's involved in that. What it is, it's an area where the water might run off and affect that water system. So it could be fields and fields and fields, but eventually that water in that area will come in and may affect the water system. So they're not looking for a swamp or a water system all the time. It's just an area around the intakes. That's all it is. For information.
All right, thank you. All right. Not sure. All right. Any further comments or questions? All right. Is the applicant here or online? Does the applicant wish to speak to the application? All right. Is there anyone here or online wishing to speak in support of this application, in support of the application? Anyone here or online wishing to speak in opposition to the application? Opposition to the application. Being none, committee. Ms. Archer.
As recommended?
As amended?
Oh, yes, as amended, sorry.
All right. And do I have a seconder? Mr. Finn. Any further comments or questions with respect to the motion on the floor? All right. Ms. Archer.
Favor?
Mr. Finn.
In favor.
Mr. Erickson.
In favor.
Councillor Yeo.
In favor?
Ms. Richardson.
In favor?
And Mr. Strangway.
In favor.
And I'm in favor. Your application is approved wherever you are. All right, we're dealing with file number D20-2025-090, and this is 91 Lakeside Drive, Geographic Township of Somerville. Mr. Okawat, go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The property is situated along 4 Mile Lake with access from the private road, Lakeside Drive. The property currently contains a cottage, a detached garage, and a storage shed. The proposal is for the construction of a new detached garage that will replace the existing one. Relief is required from the maximum permitted height for accessory structures. The subject property is zoned limited service residential under the Township of Somerville zoning bylaw. The zoning bylaw permits a maximum height of 5 meters for accessory structures in a residential zone or accessory to a residential zone. The proposed height of the detached garage is 6.3 meters. The proposed height is intended to support the garage functional layout, ensuring there's enough space for both vehicle parking and storage. Although the garage will be taller than the cottage, it still meets the intent of the zoning bylaw, which aims to manage building massing and maintain neighborhood character. The structure remains consistent with other taller accessory buildings in the area. The proposed garage is not expected to create any adverse impacts on neighboring properties and continues to comply with the maximum permitted lot coverage for accessory structures. Comments were received after the writing of the report from the Building and Septic Division, as well as the Engineering Department, indicating that they have no concerns. Furthermore, Kawartha Conservation also indicated that they have no concerns with the variance. Staff acknowledges the application meets all 4 tests of a minor variance and respectfully recommends approval of the application subject to the conditions identified. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Questions of the planner? All right, being none, is the applicant here or is the applicant online?
Yes, I am.
Your name, sir?
It's Joe McCool,
All right.
Planners and Builders.
Please go ahead.
I'm just here to answer any questions if there are any from anyone.
Are there any questions of the applicant? All right, would appear there aren't any, sir. Thank you. Is there anyone here or online wishing to speak in support of this application? In support of the application? Anyone here or online wishing to speak in opposition to this application? Opposition to the application? Committee, where are we? Mr. Strang?
As recommended by staff.
Do I have a seconder? Ms. Richardson? Any further comments or questions with respect to the motion on the floor? All right, Mr. Strangway?
In favor?
Ms. Richardson?
In favor?
Councillor Yeo? What happened to Councillor Yeo?
Sorry, in favor.
All right. Ms. Archer?
In favor.
Mr. Erickson?
In favor.
Mr. Finn?
In favor.
And I'm in favor. Your application is approved, sir.
Thank you.
All right, we're now dealing with file number D20-2025-091, and this is 982 Woodville Road, Geographic Township of Mariposa. Mr. Okawat, you're on again, sir.
Thank you. The property is located in the geographic township of Mariposa with access from Woodville Road. The property currently contains a single detached dwelling and a garden shed, and the proposal is to construct a detached garage in the front yard. Relief is required from the location of the detached garage being in the front yard and the total lot coverage of accessory structures. The property is zoned agricultural zone under the Township of Mariposa zoning bylaw. However, the size of the property is less than 1 hectare, and as per section 8.2.1.7 of the bylaw, the provisions of the rural residential type 1 zone will apply to the property. The zoning bylaw permits accessory structures to be located in the rear or side yard. The proposed detached garage is to be in the front yard. The intent of the limiting accessory structures to the side or rear yard is to reduce the visual impact and maintain a consistent property layout. However, in the rural and agricultural areas, it is common for garages and other buildings to be located in front yards for convenient access from the road. The proposed garage reflects this typical rural pattern and fits well with the surrounding properties. The zoning bylaw permits a maximum lot coverage of 10% of the lot area to a maximum of 150 square meters for buildings and accessory structures to a dwelling unit. The proposed accessory structure lot coverage is 160 square meters. The intent of this provision is to ensure that the accessory structures remain subordinate to the primary dwelling and that a sufficient open space is maintained on the property for drainage, landscaping, and rural character. The proposed increase in lot coverage is minor in nature and does not compromise the balance between built and open space on the lot. The structure remains clearly secondary to the dwelling and is consistent with the scale and function of accessory buildings commonly found in rural areas. Comments were received after the writing of the report from the septic division that states approval under, just 1 second here. Sorry about that. Comments were received after writing of the report from the Building and Septic Division indicating that they have no concerns, as well as the Engineering Department. Furthermore, Kawartha Conservation also indicated that they have no concerns with the variance. Staff acknowledges that application meets all 4 tests of a minor variance and respectfully recommends approval of the application subject to the conditions identified. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions of the planner? All right. Is the applicant here or online? All right, advisors. So, is there anyone here online wishing to speak in support of the application? In support of the application. Anyone here online wishing to speak in opposition to the application? Opposition to the application. Being none, where are we? Ms. Archer.
As printed.
Do I have a seconder? Mr. Erickson. Any further comments or questions with respect to the motion on the floor? All right, Ms. Archer.
In favor.
Mr. Erickson.
In favor.
Mr. Finn.
In favor.
Councillor Yeo.
In favor.
Ms. Richardson.
In favor.
Mr. Strangway.
In favor.
And I'm in favor. The application is approved. All right. We are now dealing with file number D20-2025-092, and this is 2907 Highway 35, Geographic Township of Ops. Mr. Shahid, go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The subject property is situated on the western side of Highway 35. North of the subject property is primarily comprised of various commercial lands, and south of the subject property is a mix of commercial, residential, and agricultural lands. The subject property contains two existing single detached dwellings, one constructed in 1954 and a newer dwelling constructed in 2025. The dwelling constructed in 1954, I'll refer to as the subject dwelling, same as I did in the report, holds a legal non-conforming status as it predates the zoning bylaw that designates the portion of the property on which it is located as a highway, commercial, or the CH zone, where dwellings are otherwise not permitted. The application seeks the registration of an existing single detached dwelling, the subject dwelling, as an additional residential unit, or in short form called an ARU. The second single detached dwelling on the property, which was more recently constructed, is within the agricultural zone, and that will be considered the primary dwelling. So the location of the subject dwelling will remain unchanged and compliant with a majority of zone provisions, including but not limited to the distance from the main dwelling, maximum height, and yard provisions, excluding the northern side yard setback. As a result, the continuation of the subject dwelling as an ARU is not anticipated to impact the abutting neighboring properties or surrounding area. When we're looking at the relief required for the side yard setback, this is solely being recognized due to the technical change of the subject dwelling being registered as an ARU. The abutting northern property contains a service station with the nearest structure appearing to be more than 90 meters from the subject dwelling. Furthermore, the erection of any structure on the northern abutting lot would require a minimum 10.5 meter setback from the side lot line of the subject property. Moving on to comments, after the writing of the report, the building division stated they have no comments or concerns. The supervisor of Part 8 sewage system stated they have no issue with the minor variance proposal, and the development engineering division stated they have no objection to the application. To conclude, based on the contents of the report, we recommend approval of the application subject to the revised conditions identified. Thank you.
Questions of the planner? Ms. Archer, I see a frown there. Mr. Shahid, the amendment has to do with the Ministry of Transportation situation?
Through you, Mr. Chair, yep, it is the condition, revised condition for MTO, Ministry of Transportation, yeah.
All right. Questions of the planner? Yeah.
Sorry, but I'm very confused. This memorandum, I must have the wrong thing. This is Wagstaff, right?
Through you, Mr. Chair, so we have two Wagstaff applications. The address of this property is 2907, Highway 35.
Oh, and this is 58 Riverwood. I'm sorry, thank you, I just went to the name. Thank you. I'm not confused anymore, at least about this.
No problem. All right, anything further of the planner? All right. Is the applicant here online? Does the applicant wish to speak to it? Yes, sir. Wish to speak to it? Are there any questions of the applicant? All right, looks like your easy day, sir. All right. Is there anyone here online that wishes to speak in support of this application? In support of this application? Anyone here online wishing to speak in opposition to this application? Opposition to the application? Being none, committee. Anyway.
As recommended by staff.
Your hand there, Mr. Finn, as a seconder?
Yes, a second as amended, subject to the amended conditions.
Mr. Strang? Yes. All right. Any further comments or questions with respect to the amended motion on the floor? All right. Mr. Strangway?
In favor?
Mr. Finn?
In favor?
Mr. Erickson?
In favor.
Ms. Archer?
Because I'm still confused.
I'm sorry?
I'm not going to vote because I'm still confused about these two.
Well, I don't like confusion, so what are you confused about?
In favor.
All right. Feel better already. Councillor Yo.
In favor?
Ms. Richardson.
In favor.
Mr. Strangway? Oh, I got you already. I'm in favor. All right. The application is approved. All right, we're now dealing with file number D20-2025-093, and this is 44 Francis Street West, former village of Fenelon Falls. I'm sorry. Mr. Shahid, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The subject property is situated in a well-established neighborhood with access from both Francis Street West and John Street. The neighborhood is comprised of a mix of low-density residential uses, institutional uses, and various commercial lands. The property currently contains a fire hall and Quonset building. The proposal seeks to facilitate the construction of an addition to the existing fire hall, and the Quonset building is to be removed. The proposed addition is intended to provide an upgraded sheltered space for storage connected to the existing fire hall, replacing the existing Quonset. So relief is requested from the exterior side yard setback, rear yard setback, maximum permitted lot coverage, and street centerline setback. I do want to note that although relief is required, the proposed addition is not further encroaching within any existing setback deficiency. Any setback deficiency being proposed is also already existing. So firstly, the existing exterior side yard setback that is being maintained, and the proposed addition is designed to connect with the existing fire hall with the same height. If we were to shift the addition further away from the exterior side lot line, that would cause the addition to be closer to the ditch on the opposite side. Secondly, looking at the street centerline setback, the intent of this provision is to ensure that build form will be adequately set back from it in the event that the municipality decides to take a road widening. And in this case, a road widening is highly unlikely, as it would require the removal of many of the existing buildings situated along John Street. Thirdly, looking at the existing rear yard setback, that is also to be maintained, and the rear abutting property is vacant, as I've shown on the slide, on the top right photo. Lastly, overcrowding is avoided as there's ample amenity space available in the front yard, and the existing Quonset will be removed from the rear yard. And the proposed lot coverage, although non-compliant, is a minimal discrepancy, just a 2% discrepancy. Moving on to comments. After the writing of the report, the building division stated that spatial separation could be a potential issue, but that it can be addressed at the building permit stage. The Development Engineering Division stated they have no objection to the application, and the Kawartha Region Conservation Authority stated they are in support of the application and that a permit has already been issued. To conclude, staff acknowledges the application meets all 4 tests of a minor variance, and we respectfully recommend approval of the application subject to the conditions identified. Thank you.
Questions of the planner? Being none, this is a City of Kawartha Lakes application. So, Ms. James, are you here or online? Do you speak to it? Ms. James, go ahead.
I have nothing to add, just here to answer any questions if there is any.
Are there any questions of Ms. James? It would appear there aren't any questions. Thank you. Is there anyone here or online wishing to speak in support of this application, in support of the application? Anyone here or online wishing to speak in opposition to this application, opposition to the application? Committee. Ms. Richardson.
As recommended by staff.
All right. Did I see your hand there, Councillor Yo, as a seconder? All right.
Excuse me, the amended conditions.
I'm sorry.
The amended conditions.
Yep. Any further comments or questions with respect to the amended motion on the floor? All right, being none. Ms. Richardson.
In favor?
Councillor Yo.
In favor?
Mr. Mr. Strangway,
In favor?
Ms. Archer,
In favor.
Mr. Erickson,
In favor?
Mr. Finn,
In favor?
and I'm in favor. The application is approved, Ms. James.
Wonderful, thank you.
We're dealing with file number D20-2025-094, and this is 257 McGuire Beach Road, Geographic Township of Carden. Mr. O'Callaghan, go ahead, sir.
Thank you. The property is situated on the shoreline of Canal Lake with access from McGuire Beach Road. The property is within an established residential neighborhood, and the lot currently contains a single detached dwelling. A detached garage is to be located in the front yard. Relief is required from the location of the accessory structures. The subject property is zoned limited service residential under the Township of Carden. The LSR zone, or limited service residential, permits a single detached dwelling as well as accessory uses. The zoning bylaw that permits accessory structures to be located in the rear or side yard. The proposed detached garage is located in the front yard. The purpose of limiting accessory structures to the side or rear yard is to reduce their visual impact, preserve usable front yard space, and maintain a consistent streetscape that reflects the character of surrounding properties. However, in many waterfront communities, it is common for accessory structures intended for vehicle storage to be located in the front yard to allow for direct driveway access. In this instance, several neighboring properties have front yard structures, ensuring that the proposed garage is compatible with the existing streetscape and supports a cohesive visual environment. Furthermore, most of the city's other rural zoning bylaw permits detached garages in front yards on properties that navigate on a waterway. And although not in effect, the new rural zoning bylaw will also allow garages in the front yard on waterfront properties. Comments were received after the writing of the report from the Septic Division that adds a condition that states approval under the Ontario Building Code pertaining to private sanitary waste disposal be obtained within a period of 8 months after the date of notice of decision. This condition will be considered fulfilled upon the achievement of a compliance satisfaction of the supervisor of Part 8 sewage systems. Comments were also received from the KRCA indicating that they have no concerns. However, a condition has been added that prior to the issuance of a building permit, the owner provide written confirmation from the Kawartha Region Conservation Authority to the Secretary Treasurer and Planning Administration that review fee has been paid within a period of 1 month after the date of the notice of decision, failing which this application shall be deemed to be refused. Finally, comments were received from the writing of the report from the Building and Engineering Department indicating that they have no concerns. Staff acknowledges the application meets all 4 tests of a minor variance and respectfully recommends approval of the application subject to the conditions identified. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions of the planner? All right, being none. Are you the applicant, sir? I think you're there. Your name?
Through the chair, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Evan Sugden. I'm a senior associate with the Bigley Airy Group, and I'm a professional land use planner representing the owners of 257 McGuire Beach Road.
All right, go ahead, sir.
I'll start off by saying we have reviewed the staff report in some detail, and I want to commend staff for what I find a pretty collaborative effort on this application, back and forth. We have reviewed the report and agree with the recommendations. I am confirming that the owners have filed the fees for the Kawartha conservation review fee and the septic review fee today. That should be in city hands. I'm not going to duplicate what staff have already said in their presentation because he's done a great job and I don't want to take up much more time. You have a busy agenda. So I'm going to touch on a couple of high-level points The applicants are proposing a garage in their front yard. This is one of 17 other properties on this particular road that have a garage. The garages range in size quite extensively, I think from 15 square meters all the way as big as 157 square meters, and we sort of fall right in the middle. We've adapted a garage design from one of the home hardware packages, and they have an architect that's tried to create a complementary design, standard gable roof. The garage doesn't propose any sort of utility hookups other than electrical for lighting and a garage door opener, and the garage is intended to store the owner's boats. From an official plan standpoint, we believe the application meets the general purpose and intent of the official plan for that waterfront designation. Accessory structures to seasonal cottages are permitted. From a zoning perspective, this is a technical variance, in my opinion, for two reasons. One, because we've met all of the other provisions in the zoning bylaw, save for the front yard, and because of the waterfront nature of this property, and the definition for front yard, which is essentially anything in between a house and a road. Most of the houses that front a lake are facing the lake. And so any structure you're going to have is likely going to be between the house and the road. And most people would not develop a garage, to sort of offset their view of the water. So from that perspective, it's technical. In addition, under the new rural zoning bylaw approved by council, but under appeal and not yet in force, we would not require a variance at all. This is now a permission in the new bylaw once the outstanding appeals are finalized. From a neighborhood compatibility perspective, like I said, we're designing this garage to match with the aesthetic. It's a slab on grade design. It's going to be oriented such that this sort of thinner edge of the garage is facing the street and the wider edge facing internal to the site. And that edge will be buffered with vegetation, namely a cedar row, to help lend to that naturalized state as much as possible when you're putting in new buildings. In addition, it's a low roof profile. And they're going to be using some traditional materials, so possibly cedar shake siding to help kind of complement that aesthetic that you see along McGuire Beach Road. And then from the perspective of whether or not it's minor in nature, I believe it is minor in nature. Again, if the rural zoning bylaw was in force in effect, we would not need a variance, and it's technical in nature. I don't believe there's any adverse impacts. It's one of 17 others that already exist, and in fact it's quite a bit smaller than several. We don't believe there's any servicing impacts because there's no utilities provided to it. Overall, I believe it's context appropriate. We agree with staff and we recommend approval. I have a lot of different materials ready to go at your disposal should you have any questions, and thank you very much for your time.
All right, and thank you, sir. Are there any questions of the deputy? All right, and I'd like to say thank you very much for your comments with respect to our staff. They do an excellent job, but it's always nice to hear a little reinforcement from those they work with outside, so thank you very much for that. All right, is there anyone here online wishing to speak in support of this application, in support of the application? Anyone here online wishing to speak in opposition to this application, opposition to the application? Okay, committee, I'm advised none, and we're looking at an amended motion. Do I have a mover? Mr. Finn? Do I have a seconder? Mr. Erickson? All right, any further comments or questions with respect to the amended motion on the floor? Being none. Mr. Erickson?
In favor.
Mr. Finn?
In favor.
All right, Ms. Archer?
In favor.
Councillor Yeo?
In favor?
Ms. Richardson?
In favor.
Mr. Strangway?
In favor.
And I'm in favor. Your application is approved, sir. Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you, Chair. Committee, have a nice evening.
All right. Where are we here? We're now dealing with file number D20-2025-095, and this is 58 Riverwood Park, Geographic Township of Ops. You have a memo from Mr. Shahid, I believe. Mr. Shahid, would you like to speak to your memo?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. So I'm just going to reiterate the last part of my memo there. So we're recommending deferral today because further clarification is required regarding the existing and proposed non-conforming uses relevant to the application. It is recommended that the application be deferred for a period of no more than 3 months to allow time for the applicant to give them sufficient time to work with staff in resolving the outstanding matters related to the application. And I have spoken to the applicant and owner, and he is aware and supports the deferral. Thank you.
Thank you for that, sir. Are there any comments or questions of Mr. Shahid? All right, being none. Yes, sir, I see a hand. You, all right. You beat me to the question. All right. If you can find the button there for your red light and state your name.
Scott Wagstaff.
Maybe just pull that mic down a bit, would you? It's pretty straight. That's great. Thank you. Go ahead, sir.
So I'm trying to build an equipment shed. I started 2 years ago. Was told that my zoning is A3 with an attenuation zone for a tile bed that never got built and can't be built. The Ministry of Transportation took that land away from us. So I was also told at the time that if I was to add this building to the existing building, that would probably go under grandfather clause and not be an issue. So I applied again this year with a redraw it so they connected the buildings together and give them the engineered drawings, give them all the drawings of the property, and was again refused on the attenuation zone thing. So I'm trying to work that through. Ahmad had come out and done a site tour. So we own Riverwood Park, which is an adjoining property. We also own Wagstaff Farm. So I use this building as a shop, a maintenance shop for both the farm and the park. I do have a lot of stuff parked around it. What you see in aerial pictures is a lot of tractor trailers with stuff in them that I want to get rid of, all the tractor trailers, and have one nice big shed to store everything in. So now I think it's come to a zoning issue. It's A3 attenuation zone. I'm not sure if they just drop in the attenuation zone or a different type of zoning. I have talked to Ahmad, but I don't really get exactly what they're wanting from me. I did start the project and they penalized me, tripled my permit, which I have also paid. So now I'm into $15,000 for a permit. Was hoping to have got it closed in before the winter, but now it looks like even if we go with what they're saying, it'll be another 3 months for them back here. So I'd like that after the meeting, if I could have a meeting with my counselor and the planning committee to see exactly what they're wanting from me and what I can do. And I'd also wish there was some type of bond or something I could just put up to get the building done before the weather turned bad and still go ahead with whatever they want. So.
Well, I'm sure that's why Mr. Shahid's asking for the deferral, but I will go to him. Do you wish to respond to anything that was said, Mr. Shahid?
Through you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, I just want to send my appreciation to the applicant for voicing his comments. We can definitely have that meeting, and the director has confirmed that she will be meeting with the applicant, and then we will discuss their comments. But yeah, we will be meeting with the applicant later today, actually.
Thank you. You're okay with that, sir? All right, before you go, are there any questions of the applicant? All right, thank you, sir. We appreciate you taking the time. All right. Again, I'm going to ask, excuse me, if there's anyone here online or are opposed to the application, we're going to be asking that the matter be deferred, I believe, for a period of not more than 3 months. So is there anyone online? No. All right, being none, committee, I'm looking for Ms. Richardson. Okay, as mentioned, for a period of no longer than 3 months?
That's correct.
Yeah, all right. And Ms. Archer, I saw your hand as a seconder. Any further comments or questions with respect to the time frame? All right, being none. Ms. Richardson?
In favor.
Ms. Archer?
Favor.
Councillor Yeo?
In favor.
In favor?
In favor?
Mr. Finn?
In favor.
And I'm in favor. So where'd he go? Oh, your application is deferred, sir, and as you heard from Mr. Shahid, I am assuming there will be discussions further along today. So thank you for your time. All right. I'm going to suggest we take 5. All right. I'm going to call the meeting back to order. To get seated. All right, we're now dealing with file number D20-2025-096, and this is 10 Star Road, Geographic Township of Somerville. Mr. Okawit, go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The property is situated along Balsam Lake with access from Star Road. The property currently contains a single detached dwelling and 2 sheds. According to data from the Municipal Property Assessment Corporation, or MPAC, the existing dwelling was constructed in 1988. The proposal seeks to replace the current dwelling with a new single detached dwelling. Relief is requested from the front yard setback and rear yard setback. The subject property is zoned as limited service residential LSR zone under the Township of Somerville. The zoning bylaw requires a minimum front yard setback of 7.5 meters. The proposed front yard setback is 1.8 meters. The front yard setback provision is intended to ensure sufficient space between buildings and the roadway for safety, visibility, and to maintain an orderly streetscape. The property is surrounded by tall hedges that function as a natural fence, providing visual separation from the road. The placement of the dwelling will not obstruct sight lines or interfere with traffic movement, and the existing landscaping helps preserve the visual character of the area. As such, the intent of the front yard setback requirement is effectively maintained. The zoning bylaw also requires a rear yard setback of 7.5 meters. The proposed single detached dwelling has a rear yard setback of 3 meters. The rear yard setback requirement is intended to ensure adequate separation between buildings, provide privacy for neighboring properties, and maintain open space for light, air, and access. The proposed reduced setback is minor and does not significantly impact the neighboring properties, as adequate spacing and sight lines are preserved. Furthermore, the proposed setback of 3 meters still allows for continued and functional use of the rear yard. Due to the triangular shape of the property, the area defined as rear yard under the zoning bylaw functions more like an interior side yard. As such, a 3-meter setback provides substantial degree of separation. Comments were received after the writing of the report from the Septic Division that adds a condition that states approval under the Ontario Building Code pertaining to private sanitary waste disposal be obtained within a period of 8 months after the date of notice of decision. This condition will be considered fulfilled upon achievement of compliance to the satisfaction of the supervisor of Part 8 sewage systems. Comments were also received after the writing of the report from the Building and Engineering Department indicating that they have no concerns. Staff acknowledges the application meets all 4 tests of a minor variance and respectfully recommends approval of the application subject to the conditions identified. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Are there questions of the planner? All right, being none, is the applicant here or online? Oh, I see it. Yeah, and your name, please?
So good afternoon, Chair. My name is Melissa Markham.
All right.
Melissa Markham Planning, 1025 Rebecca Lane, Huntsville, Ontario, P1H2J6. So I'm here today on behalf of the owners of the property municipally known as 10 Star Road. I was retained to assist with the application to facilitate the demolition and reconstruction of a new dwelling on an existing lot. As you heard, the application seeks to permit a dwelling to be constructed on relatively the same footprint as an existing dwelling. We've read the staff report provided to the committee for today's meeting, and we agree with the opinion of staff and the proposed conditions. My full planning opinion is contained in the submitted planning brief with the application, and I'm going to keep my comments today brief. As you heard, the dwelling is proposed to be located in a similar setback, front and rear, as the existing dwelling, which will maintain the character of the area. The reduced setbacks are due to the lot configuration, where the subject lands are triangular in shape, and the front lot line is deemed to be the lot line that abuts the road. Further, the reduced setback to the rear lot line is for a setback which is currently at 3.6 meters, and it'll be 3 meters. This rear yard setback actually functions more like an interior side yard setback, which would be 3 meters, and it is 3 meters to the property adjacent. The overall width of a dwelling designed to meet the required setbacks for the front and rear yard for that 7.5 meters would not actually be usable due to the depth of the existing lot. The dwelling will be situated, as I mentioned, on an existing building envelope, having a slightly larger footprint. I think that staff provided a thorough overview of the application. In my opinion, the application meets the 4 tests of the Planning Act and represents good planning. And I'm here today requesting approval of the application and answer any questions that the committee may have. Thank you.
All right, and thank you very much for your information. Are there any questions of the deputant? All right, there doesn't appear to be any questions. Is there anyone here online wishing to speak in support of this application, in support of the application? Anyone here online wishing to speak in opposition to the application? Opposition to the application? Appears to be none. Committee, where are we? Councillor Yode, I see your hand there.
Yep.
All right, to move the motion as amended?
Yes, sir.
Do I have a seconder? Mr. Finn. Any further comments or questions with respect to the amended motion? All right. Councillor Yeo.
In favor.
Mr. Finn. Mr. Erickson.
In favor.
Ms. Archer.
In favor.
Ms. Richardson.
In favor?
Mr. Strangway.
In favor?
And I'm in favor. Your application is approved.
Thank you for your time, committee.
We are now going to put Ms. Evans to work. File number D20-2025-097, and this is 81 Crescent Drive, Geographic Township of Burlum. Go ahead, Ms. Evans.
Thank you. The property is designated waterfront under the City of Kawartha Lakes official plan and is zoned limited service residential under the Township of Verulam zoning bylaw. The property is located on the northern shore of Sturgeon Lake and currently contains a boathouse and a detached garage. A single detached dwelling is proposed, but it is not the subject of this minor variance. The proposal is to relocate the existing detached garage and renovate it to increase the headspace in the second story with the addition of some dormers. The purpose of relocating the garage is so the proposed septic system for the dwelling can be established in the garage's current location. So on the slide here, the existing location of the garage is in yellow and the proposed location is in purple. Relief is needed from section 5.1.3, which permits an accessory structure to be located in the interior side or rear yard. The garage is to be relocated to a new location in the front yard. Relief is also needed from section 5.1.5, which permits a maximum height for accessory structures of 5 meters. The existing garage is to be altered, resulting in a height of 6.1 meters. The photo on the left shows the garage in its current location, and then the photo on the right is its proposed location. The new location complies with the minimum front yard setback and is actually slightly further set back from the front lot line than what exists today. Ample amenity space will remain in the front yard. The garage is currently located in the front yard. We're just proposing a new location, so the change has really minimal impact. There are also several properties in the immediate vicinity that have garages in the front yard, so we are in keeping with existing built form. The garage is going to be altered by adding dormers, so the overall height of the garage is not changing. The addition of the dormers changes how we measure height, which is where that increased height is coming from and why that relief is needed. The proposed height is not anticipated to alter the character of the property or make the eventual dwelling appear subordinate in comparison to the garage. And just for comparative purposes, most of the city's other rural zoning bylaws, as well as our new rural zoning bylaw, will not currently in effect permit garages in the front yard on properties that front on the water. No comments of concern were raised by any of the circulated agencies, and no comments were received from members of the public. Based on the contents of the report, staff acknowledges the application meets all 4 tests of a minor variance and respectfully recommends approval of the application subject to the conditions identified within the report. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions of the planner? Mr. Strangway.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Evans, I see there isn't currently a residence on the lot. Is that underway? Is there an application in? Because I know there's certain concerns about having garages or boathouses on lots without residents on lakefront property.
Thank you. Through the chair. So you'll see on the sketch that the proposed house is identified and a building permit has been applied for the house.
Perfect, thank you.
Further questions of the planner? All right, being none. Is the applicant here or online? Oh, I'm told yes. All right.
Yep.
And your name,
Yes,
sir?
I am the applicant, Gerald Hood, and I'm representing the owner, Dave Gurney. So if anybody has any questions, I'm here to answer them.
All right, thank you, sir. Are there any questions of the deputy? All right, it doesn't look like there are any. Is there anyone here or online wishing to speak in support of this application, in support of the application? Anyone here or online wishing to speak in opposition to this application, opposition to the application? I'm advised there are none. Committee, where are we? Mr. Strangway.
As recommended by staff.
Mr. Finn, I saw your hand.
Second.
All right. Any further comments or questions with respect to the motion on the floor? All right. Mr. Strangway.
Favor.
Mr. Finn.
In favor.
Mr. Erickson.
In favor.
Ms. Archer.
In favor.
Councillor Yeo.
In favor.
Ms. Richardson.
In favor.
And I'm in favor. Your application is approved, sir.
Perfect. Thank you, committee and chair.
Yep, thank you.
Good day.
All right, we're now dealing with file number D20-2025-098, and this is 34 Cedar Point Road, Geographic Township of Fenland. And again, Ms. Evans, go ahead.
The property is designated waterfront under the City of Kawartha Lakes official plan and is zoned limited service residential under the Township of Fenland zoning bylaw. The property is located on the eastern shore of Balsam Lake and currently contains a single detached dwelling constructed in 1990, a boathouse, and a shed. This property might look a little bit familiar. We were here just last month for a detached garage that's associated with this property that came through for a minor variance. The purpose of the application is to facilitate the construction of a one-story addition onto the existing single detached dwelling. The property owners plan to eventually live at this property full-time, and the purpose of the addition is mainly to contain a bedroom on the main level for accessibility purposes. Relief is needed from section 15.2.1.3E, which requires a minimum water setback of 15 meters. The proposed setback is 9.4 meters. So the photo on the left here shows the existing dwelling, and then the photo on the right shows the shoreline, which has access to the boathouse. This photo shows the water setback. So we've got the water on the left side of the photo, and then the location of the proposed addition on the right. So with the exception of this boat slip where the shoreline has at one point in time been altered to facilitate access from the water into the boathouse, the proposed addition complies with the minimum water setback when measured from the rest of the shoreline on the property. The addition is not anticipated to alter existing shoreline conditions, and the location of the proposed addition is not anticipated to increase risk associated with natural hazards or have any impact on infiltration. Furthermore, Kawartha Region Conservation Authority has provided that they are in support of the minor variance. No comments of concern raised by any of the circulated agencies, and no comments were received from members of the public. Based on the contents of the report, staff acknowledges the application meets all four tests of a minor variance and respectfully recommends approval of the application subject to the conditions identified in the report. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Evans. Questions of the planner? All right, being none. Is the applicant here or online? I see. And your name, sir? We can't hear you. You've got to push another button there.
Sorry, I thought you were in control of the volume there.
Not always, not always. Your name, sir?
Glenn Wilcox from Wilcox Architects here in town, and I'm the applicant for the agent, and I believe both the owners are online as well. We are here to answer any questions the committees may have from the application. Thank you.
And thank you, sir. Are there any questions of the step in, or the owners? All right, it would appear there are no questions. So is there anyone here or online wishing to speak in support of this application, support of the application? Anyone here or online wishing to speak in opposition to the application, opposition to the application? Being none. See, where are we? Ms. Richardson, go ahead.
As recommended by staff.
And do I have a seconder? Ms. Archer, all right. Any further comments or questions with respect to the motion on the floor? Being none. Ms. Richardson?
In favor.
Ms. Archer?
In favor.
Councillor Yeo?
In favor.
Mr. Strangway?
In favor.
Mr. Erickson?
In favor.
Mr. Finn?
In favor.
And I'm in favor. Your application is approved, sir.
Thank you very much. Good day.
We are dealing with file number D20-2025-099. This is 28 Cedar Point Road, Geographic Township of Fenelon. And I believe we have a memo there from Ms. Evans. Ms. Evans, do you wish to speak to your memo?
Yes, thank you. So as you'll see in the memo that's been handed out, since the writing of the report, comments were received from the supervisor of Part 8 sewage system stating that there is an issue with the location of the septic system in relation to the location of the proposed garage. So further evaluations of both the system and the location of the garage are needed. So to give some time to have that evaluation happen and to find a solution, we recommend that the application be deferred for a period of no more than 1 month to return to the November 27th, 2025 Committee of Adjustment meeting.
Thank you. Any questions of the planner? Alrighty. I guess better not stop there. Is the applicant here or online? No, I'm advised no. Is there anyone here or online that wishes to speak in support or in opposition to this application? It's being deferred to, well, I'm assuming the November meeting, but I'd like to hear from you if you're there. No one, all right. All right, committee. What I'd like is and I should have done this on the previous one, didn't, but I'd like a motion to receive the memo from Ms. Evans. And a motion and the motion would include a deferral to the November 27th meeting. Mr. Finn?
I agree.
All right, and seconded by Ms. Archer. Did I see your hand? All right. The only thing to discuss then is time. Is there any comments or questions with respect to the time frame? Being none. Mr. Finn?
In favor.
Ms. Archer?
In favor.
Mr. Erickson?
In favor.
Councillor Yeo?
In favor.
Ms. Richardson?
In favor.
Mr. Strangway?
In favor.
And I'm in favor. The application is deferred until the November 27th, 2025 Committee of Adjustment meeting. Thank you. All right. That finishes off our applications. Committee, under other business, any comments or questions from committee under other business? Yes, Ms. Archer.
I was just happy to see no one nodded off back there.
You're kidding. On an exciting meeting like this, you would suggest something like that. All right. Anything new or under other business from staff? All right. That being the case, I'm going to ask for a motion to adjourn. Councillor Yeo, Ms. Richardson. All right. I don't know that we need I've never lost one of these motions, so I'm not sure we need a recorded vote on this one. All those in favor? And that, all right. Thank you very much. So that's the end of the meeting, folks. And again, thank you very much for coming along and